Have you tried to find out why you're on this earth? As in your main reason, the main assignment God gave you to do on this earth. Have you? And many a times, a lot of us don't do that research. Why at other times, a lot of people get to find out what their assignment is, but they ignore it. They will just ignore it. Some do that maybe because they are not ready to pay any sacrifice, or they just want other people's destiny or other people's life. So they don't want to do the one they were assigned to do. You understand? So, and they end up at the end of the day creating problem not just for themselves, but for the generation after them. Because they failed to do what they would have done in their own time and days, that thing becomes a carry over to another generation. And so doing, problems keeps piling up. And that's why you see some certain families, there are things going on in some families that in the end is as if no way out, no way in. And at the same time, there are equally families that have gone on extension. Because why? There were people sent to that particular family's lineage or kindred to redeem it, to make the continuation of that family to continue. But they failed, either because of their own selfishness, or they were just not ready to pay the price or sacrifice, or they just didn't care. And this is happening in many families, in many lineage, in many bloodlines. And when it is done, a lot will blame God. God, is it not you that created us? Forgetting that we all have our own uniqueness. My people say, cooperation is what makes a cup of rice to be so much in the pot. You have a role to play in that family of your father and your mother, for the light of it to shine brighter. So next time, before you criticize anything, sit down, ask yourself, why was I sent to this family in the first place? What is it really about this family? And you can only ask one person that won't deceive you, won't lie to you, and that is God. And when you don't understand, when you start revealing it to you, asking for understanding of it, He will help you. You see, a lot of people have been sent to certain families and they fail out of selfishness or wanting to just live another person's kind of life or destiny. They ended up ruining themselves and ruining that family. So they end up still blaming God. You cannot be useless. You see, everything God created is useful. Nothing is useless. Because the Bible says, after God created everything, He saw that all that He created was good. He didn't finish to create and see anything bad or wrong in what He has created for mankind. Everything was good and perfect, and it takes joy in what he has created. But a lot of us think we are useless. No. That's why I've never seen useless men, I've never seen useless women, but the ones that choose to be and are not ready to stop being useless and become useful as the useful them that God created. So ask yourself, why am I on this earth? Why am I in this family? If at all I'm still alive, if at all I'm still in this family, in this tribe or ethnic or this country, there is a reason why I'm here, and begin to work on it. There are some of us that were born to better, like me, for instance, coming from Africa. So let me use Africa for example. For instance, there are lots of us that were born in Africa and has greater assignments in Africa. But you see, out of selfishness, out of philanthropy, or out of ignorance, why many too? It happens out of ignorance, okay? Why many as well, out of ignorance, leave Africa and travel to the Western world and tells you, I would prefer to die in the Western world than go back to Africa. Or, hey, I'm not going. Auntie, you live where you are supposed to be a light to come to a place where you will be a darkness. And later you blame God. It's a lie, yo. It's a big lie. They will keep crying. The white. Let me tell you, you see the white, They always find their purpose, why they are alive. And the moment they find it, they will sacrifice everything and anything to make sure they fulfill that purpose. That's one difference I see between them and us. But we Africa, we will say no, it's a lie, yo. It's a lie. It is not true. Because we will always want to live people's life. Some people, to the point they have become their life Jonah. Jonah, go to Nineveh and deliver the people of Nineveh. Jonah said, God, I'm not going there. Jonah became more he became more knowledgeable and more aware of the people of Nineveh than God. And he said, God, I'm not going, those wicked people. Yes, God saw a wicked people, but a wicked people that could become good people. And so he sent Jonah, having graced Jonah with the grace to redeem Nineveh. God could have ignored him and choose anybody else. But no, as long as Jonah was still alive, and it was in the time and season of Jonah that Nineveh will be redeemed, there is no way God could have passed Jonah and bring in another person, because God is a God of order, is a God of principle. So God not a bypass. Yes, he can break protocols, but he doesn't do that all the time. Jonah said no. Do you want us to talk of Gideon? Or you want us to talk about the man, Samson? Samson, out of selfishness, that's the only thing I'll call it, selfishness, killed himself by himself before his own time. Because God gave her the instruction of what will preserve his life. But he was so selfish, careless, and never really cared so much. Else, he wouldn't have married Delilah and ended up the way he did, making the people to suffer when he died, until the person that was to take over after him came. There are seasons and there are times. God will not bring people that will take over from you in the next 35 years now because you have failed. Meaning, if you fail now and die